Hi everyone, Velvet here, and in this one, OP refuses to pay $25 for a soda and half an appetizer. Let's get started. Our first story comes from Backup Account. Am I the beehole for laughing at my ex and her husband for asking to have our daughter for another month? For some context, I, a 46-year-old male, was married to my ex-wife, AITA, a 46-year-old female, for 21 years before she cheated and remarried to her now male reproductive organ of a husband, Dan, a 48-year-old male. We have 4 kids together: Henry, a 28-year-old male, Zach, a 26-year-old male, Cam, a 25-year-old male, and Rory, a 15-year-old female. This situation really only involves, since my boys were teens / young adults when we divorced, they got to choose who they lived with. Rory, on the other hand, did not. I have Rory most of the time. I pay for her schooling, medical, extracurriculars, etc. While Ida and Dan get her every other holiday and don't really pay for stuff, well, the 4th of July, Rory went over to Ida and Dan's. They stayed there until a week before school started. Rory confided in me that while the time she was there, she couldn't really do anything fun and was stuck watching her younger siblings while Dan and Ida went out. She told me she felt like a babysitter more than a daughter, which hurt my heart for Rory since she was really excited to see her mother. She also told me she'd like to stick with visits again and not staying for a whole month or two. Well, about 2 nights ago, I got a call from Ida. She seemed happy and started talking about Rory and how she liked it there. She continued to ramble a bit before asking me to ask Rory about staying another month. I laughed, which caused Ida to be mad, and she hung up. Dan texted me, calling me an A-word for laughing at her, and my brother said it was kinda mean to do. Am I the beehole? Edit. I honestly didn't mean to laugh. I don't know why I did. No, you are not the beehole. And I think you laughed because you know she was telling you a bull-faced lie. This one's pretty easy. She's just trying to use your daughter for a free babysitter while her and the man she cheated on you with can go out and, gallivant and have fun. So keep your daughter with you and keep her safe because it sounds like she's having a miserable time there. Our next story comes from 888 Cheesefinger. Am I the beehole for saying my wife can't do her night routine on vacation? I, a 25-year-old female, have been with my wife, a 27-year-old female, for 5 years and married for 3. We had a baby 3 years ago, and she's the light of our life. My wife listens to true crime podcasts every night to sleep. It doesn't bother me because I'll sleep through anything, and I wear earplugs to sleep. So she plays it out loud on her nightstand. We are currently on vacation and we're sharing a room with our toddler. Last night, while my wife and I were there getting ready for bed, she got her podcast set up and ready. I told her I didn't think she could listen to the podcast while our daughter was in the room. My wife said it was fine, and that the chances are she'll fall asleep before the podcast gets graphic, but I told her it wasn't a good idea, and I don't want her baby hearing anything scary. She got upset and told me I was trying to control what she can and cannot listen to, and that's not okay. She ended up not listening to the podcast, but she's been short and grumpy with me all day. Am I the beehole? Edit. To add, my wife hates headphones and earbuds. They're uncomfortable. Even if I suggested that, she wouldn't go for it. Also, we're both women. We're a lesbian couple. To answer a frequently asked question, I've been wearing earplugs to sleep since I was 14. They aren't to drown out the podcast, and I can still hear my daughter when she needs me. I wear earplugs because I'm scared of getting bugs in my ears. That's a dumb fear, but it makes me feel better. No, you are not the beehole. That's weird. She doesn't like headsets or headphones. She's gonna need to suck it up. Because, yeah, I kind of agree. You don't want a small child hearing all that crazy stuff about, murder and all that. And your fear of bugs crawling in your ears, that's not a dumb fear. I have that fear too. I always worried about spiders getting in my ears. Maybe I should get some earplugs. Our third and final story comes from Moonstone Magic. Am I the beehole for refusing to pay $45 for a soda and half an appetizer? Last weekend, one of my friends organized a group of people to go do fall things. We rented a van, went to a few breweries and wineries. When we got back, we stopped at a pub to hang out a bit before going home. There were about 12 of us, so they seated us at a table. People ordered food and drinks. When the check came, one of the guys quickly gave his card after signing, looked around and said, "Okay everyone, Venmo me $45. This threw me off because many people had ordered meals, sides, drinks, and shots. I had ordered a Diet Coke. I had to drive about 1.5 miles home and shared an appetizer with my husband. I asked if we could each Venmo him for what we ordered, and he seemed annoyed. He sent everyone a pic of the receipt and had everyone Venmo him for what they got. For context, I'm fine splitting the bill evenly when everyone orders roughly the same thing. But also, if I ever put my card down, I always ask everyone if they want to split it evenly or not just assume. My husband thinks I'm being cheap and should have just split the bill evenly with everyone. I know I'm more money conscious than others, so I'm wondering, am I the beehole? No, you are not the beehole. I feel very strongly on this one because people call me cheap, but I believe in paying, for what you ordered. That guy was trying to get a free meal or get a couple bucks off you guys because, like you said, you bought a drink and ate half an appetizer. I'm not paying $45 for that. If I'm paying $45, I'm getting me a steak dinner. So no, you are not the beehole, and take it from someone who's proud to be cheap. You're fine. All right, everyone, and that's another video in the bag. Thank you so much for watching. Can you please do me a favor? Like, comment, and subscribe. It really helps the channel out. And I've got a question for you guys. Do you think you would have paid $45? Velvet out.